welcome back to another video of the channel. My name is Julio. Thanks for tuning in. Before we get started, like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and let's get down to business. So today we're going to be talking about BGP Peer using authentication, MD5. Before we get into the lab, let's get inside the details. So MD5 stands for Message Digest Algorithm 5, a cryptographic function that creates a 128-bit hash value from any input. It's used to verify the integrity of files and authentication messages. All right, so how it works. MD5 takes a message of any length and creates a fixed length digest value. The digest value is used to compare the original message to a copy. If the input and output don't match, the data has likely been changed. Uses. MD5 is used in security protocols and applications such as SSH, SSL, and IPsec. It's also used to check the integrity of files. MD5 was originally used for data encryption, but is now used primarily for authentication. So why use BGP authentication? BGP authentication is used to ensure only trusted devices can exchange routing information, preventing unauthorized access and mitigating risks like route hijacking by verifying that the source of BGP updates is legitimate throughout a shared secret password, thus enhancing network security by only allowing communication with authorized peers. All right, so let me break it down to you. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna configure the customer router. We're gonna enable Ethernet 0/0, and we're gonna assign the corresponding IP address to that interface. And also we're gonna configure the BGP instance and the password we're gonna use for authentication. And on our left side, the carrier router, we're gonna be configuring Ethernet 0/0 as well. We're gonna be assigning the corresponding IP address to it. We're gonna enable it. We're gonna configure the BGP instance, and we're also gonna configure the password as well. All right, so here's the configuration we're gonna be injecting on the customer and the carrier router. As you can see, it's very simple. We're gonna define the IP address on Ethernet 0/0. We're gonna no shut. We're gonna configure BGP instance, and we're also gonna configure the password we're gonna be using for authentication from both sides. So now that I have explained what MD5 is, let's get inside CML and let's get started with the lab. Let's get it, guys. All right, so we're inside CML now. We're gonna start configuring the customer router. Keep in mind that I'm gonna be using the service password encryption, and that is due because once I configure the equipment, I don't want anyone else to know exactly what password am I using. So just keep that in mind. All right, so we finished configuring the BGP instance on the customer equipment. Let's verify that the password has been encrypted, and it has. Very good. Let's jump in now to the carrier router, and let's start with the configuration as well over there. All right, so we finished configuring the carrier router. The BGP instance is already configured and the neighbor is already up. All right, so let's jump into the customer router and let's verify the state of the neighbor relationship with the carrier router. It's supposed to be up. And as you can see, it's up. Now, there's a security weakness in terms of the encryption that we're using that is level 7, and that is due to the fact that it can be decrypted. So it doesn't matter if you apply the service password encryption. level 7 password can be decrypted, and I'm gonna show you how I do it. So this is the firewall.cx. I'm gonna leave the page in the description of this video. And as you can see, I put the encrypted password on the encrypted password field, and it came back with the password that I'm actually using for the BGP peering authentication. So what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna go to the BGP instance on the carrier router, and I'm gonna mistype the password. I'm gonna put another one, and you're gonna see on the other end that it's gonna start giving MD5 bad authentication messages. And as you can see on the customer router, we are having bad authentication, invalid MD5 digest, which means that the 192.168.1.1 that we actually mistyped the password is not running the same password as we got on the customer side. All right, so let's go to the carrier router. Let's go to the BGP instance and let's put the correct password. And you're gonna see that the neighbor relationship is gonna come up again. And as you can see, after a couple of seconds, it came right back up again. So that's gonna be all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please give it a like. And as always, this is Jay. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.